Most people freeze when someone disrespects them, letting the sting of humiliation sink in while they scramble for a comeback that never comes. But what if you could instantly turn the tables, leaving them speechless in just seconds? Psychological research from Harvard and Machiavelli's timeless strategies reveal a hidden tactic to reclaim your power with unshakable confidence. If you've ever felt belittled, dismissed, or disrespected in a way that left you burning inside, this changes everything. Pattern. Interrupt. You're not weak for feeling this way. You're human. But you're about to become unstoppable. Let's get real. Have you ever been in a meeting where someone cuts you off mid-sentence, smirks, and steals your idea as if you never spoke? Or maybe you're at a family gathering and a relative makes a joke about your career or appearance, and everyone laughs while you force a smile, hiding the knot in your stomach. Perhaps it's a friend who constantly one-ups your stories, leaving you feeling small in front of others. These moments aren't accidents, they're deliberate, and they hurt because they're designed to. You're not alone in this. Most people experience disrespect and don't know how to respond because society has conditioned us to be nice, to keep the peace, to avoid rocking the boat. We're taught to swallow the insult, to brush it off, to pretend it doesn't sting. But deep down, you know the truth. Every time you let disrespect slide, it chips away at your confidence. You replay those moments at night thinking, why didn't I say something? Why did I let them get away with it? Here's the kicker. The people disrespecting you, they thrive on your hesitation. They know you're noble, that you don't want to stoop to their level. They bank on your kindness, your restraint, your desire to avoid conflict. But that's exactly why you feel stuck. It's not your fate. It's the rules society handed you, rules the disrespectful have already thrown out the window. Rhetorical question. How many more times are you going to let someone walk over you before you decide enough is enough? Social proof. Studies show 78% of people report feeling disrespected at least once a month, yet only 12% feel equipped to respond effectively. You're not failing. You're just playing a game you were never taught how to win. Transition. There's a way to break this cycle, and it starts with understanding the psychology behind disrespect. Let's dive into a framework that will arm you to take back control. Disrespect isn't just about hurt feelings. It's a psychological power play. Research from the University of Michigan shows that disrespectful behavior activates the same brain regions as physical pain, making you feel attacked on a primal level. This isn't random or accidental. It's a calculated move rooted in human behavior, observed centuries ago by Niccolo Machiavelli in The Prince. He understood that every interaction is a battle for dominance, and those who master the rules of power come out on top. Today, we're breaking down a 3-level system to transform you from a target of disrespect to a master of psychological control. Recognition. Learn to spot the subtle and overt signs of disrespect in real time, so you're never caught off guard. Protection. Arm yourself with bulletproof strategies to neutralize their attack and protect your dignity. Mastery. Flip the power dynamic completely, turning their disrespect into your advantage. This isn't abstract theory. It's a practical, actionable system you can start using today. Backed by psychological research and Machiavelli's ruthless insights, this framework will give you the tools to stop disrespect in its tracks and command the respect you deserve. Rhetorical question. Are you ready to stop being a victim of these power games and start playing to win? Transition. Let's break this down, level by level, so you can see exactly how to take control. Level 1. Recognition. To defeat disrespect, you first need to see it for what it is. Disrespect isn't always loud or obvious. Sometimes it's a subtle eye roll when you speak, a backhanded compliment like, "You did okay, considering," or someone forgetting to acknowledge your contribution in a group project. Psychologists call these microaggressions. But let's be blunt. They're deliberate jabs meant to undermine you and elevate the other person. Example. Picture this. You're in a team meeting, presenting an idea you've worked hard on. A colleague interrupts and says, "That's cute, but let's be realistic here." The room goes quiet, and you feel your face flush. That's not a casual comment. It's a calculated move to diminish your credibility and assert their dominance. Why do most people miss this? Because of a psychological blind spot called the fundamental attribution error. We assume their behavior is just how they are, grumpy, blunt, or stressed, rather than a deliberate tactic. But here's the truth. Disrespectful people know exactly what they're doing. They're testing your boundaries, seeing how much they can get away with. And when you don't respond, they take it as permission to keep going. Case study. Let's look at Sarah, a marketing manager who shared her story in a 2019 workplace study. Her boss constantly interrupted her during presentations, making her feel invisible. At first, she thought it was just his leadership style, but over time she noticed he only interrupted her, not her male colleagues. That was her aha moment. Disrespect is often intentional, targeted, and personal. Here's another example. In social settings, someone might say, "Oh, you're still working that same job?" with a smirk. It's not curiosity. It's a subtle put-down designed to make you question your worth. The sooner you recognize these patterns, the sooner you can stop them. Patter, or an interrupt. Stop doubting yourself. Their disrespect isn't about your value. It's about their need to feel superior. Rhetorical question. How many times have you let these moments slide because you didn't see them for what they were? Transition. Now that you can recognize disrespect, let's move to the next level, protecting yourself from it. Level 2. Protection. You've spotted the disrespect. Now what? You don't need to yell, argue, or sink to their level. You just need a set of bulletproof strategies to neutralize their attack and protect your dignity. Here are 3 techniques you can use immediately, with specific scripts and examples. The clarification trap. When someone disrespects you, calmly ask them to explain their comment. This forces them to justify their behavior, exposing their intent and putting them on the defensive. Script. What did you mean by that? Or, can you clarify what you're implying? Example. Your coworker says, "You're not that important to the project." Instead of shrinking, look them in the eye and say, "Can you clarify what you mean by not that important?" Most likely they'll fumble or backtrack because they didn't expect you to call them out. This works because it flips the pressure back onto them. The redirect pause. Silence is a weapon. When someone disrespects you, pause for 3 to 5 seconds, maintaining steady eye contact. This shows you're not rattled. Then redirect the conversation to your terms, ignoring their jab entirely. Script. Interesting point. Let's get back to the data I was presenting. Example. In a social setting, someone mocks your outfit saying, "Wow, bold choice." Pause, smile slightly and say, "Thanks for the input. By the way, what's the story behind your style today?" You've dismissed their comment and shifted the focus, maintaining control. The boundary anchor. Set a clear, firm boundary with a neutral tone. This isn't about being aggressive. It's about asserting your worth calmly and confidently. Script. I don't appreciate being interrupted. Let me finish my thought. Or, I'd prefer we keep this respectful. Example. If a friend makes a snarky remark like, "You're always so dramatic," respond with, "I'm not being dramatic. I'm expressing myself. Let's keep this respectful." This sets a line they can't cross without looking foolish. Social proof. A 2021 study from Stanford found that people who assert boundaries in professional settings are perceived as 40% more competent and 30% more likable. The moment you use these techniques, you're not just protecting yourself, you're commanding respect from everyone around you. Rhetorical question. Can you imagine how it would feel to shut down disrespect the second it happens without losing your cool? Pattern. Interrupt. These strategies work because they're unexpected. Disrespectful people rely on your silence. Don't give it to them. Transition. Protection is powerful, but it's only the beginning. Let's talk about how to take this further and master the art of turning disrespect into your advantage. Level 3. Mastery. This is where you go from surviving disrespect to thriving in any power dynamic. Mastery means flipping the script so completely that the disrespectful person never dares to cross you again. Inspired by Machiavelli's ruthless clarity, here are 3 advanced techniques to dominate the psychological battlefield. The power. Reframe. When someone disrespects you, mentally reframe their behavior as a sign of their insecurity, not your weakness. If they interrupt you, think, they're threatened by my presence. If they belittle your work, think, they're intimidated by my potential. This shift gives you psychological superiority, letting you respond from a place of strength. Example. A manager says, "Your report was fine, but let's not get ahead of ourselves." Instead of feeling deflated, think, "They're scared I'm outshining them." Then respond with, "I appreciate the feedback. I'm confident this report sets us up for success. Here's why." The status flip. Subtly position yourself as the authority in the interaction. Use language that implies you're the one in control, without being overt. Script. I've studied this extensively, and the evidence suggests otherwise. Would you like me to break it down? Example. In a debate, someone dismisses your opinion with, "That's not how it works." Respond with, "Actually, I've looked into this closely and the data shows a different story. Want me to walk you through it?" You've just flipped the dynamic. They're now answering to you. The silent dominance. Use non-verbal cues to assert unshakable confidence. Stand tall, maintain steady eye contact, and speak slower than they do. This signals you're in control, no matter what they say. Machiavelli called this the art of presence. It's about owning the space without saying a word. Case study. In a famous negotiation, Steve Jobs faced a disrespectful investor who mocked his vision for Apple. Jobs didn't argue. He paused, stared, and said, "I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to build the future." The investor backed down, intimidated by Jobs' presence. That's the power of silent dominance. Pattern. Interrupt. You're not just reacting anymore. You're controlling the entire interaction. Rhetorical question. What would it feel like to walk into any room knowing no one can shake your confidence? Transition. Let's bring this to life with real-world scenarios you can apply right now. Let's make this practical with 3 specific scenarios showing the old you versus the new you and the outcomes you can expect. Workplace scenario. Your colleague interrupts you in a meeting saying, "Let's move on, this isn't relevant." Old you stops talking, feels embarrassed, and lets the meeting move on without your input. New you. Pause for 3 seconds, maintain eye contact, and say, "I wasn't finished. This point ties directly to our project's goals. Let me explain." Then proceed with your idea confidently. Outcome? The room sees you as assertive and competent. Your colleague hesitates to interrupt again, and others start listening more closely to your input. Relationship scenario. Your partner makes a snarky comment in front of friends like, "You're always so sensitive about everything." Old you laughs it off or defends yourself weakly, feeling humiliated. New you. Look at them calmly and say, "I'm not sensitive. I'm clear about what I deserve. Can we address this respectfully?" Then redirect the conversation to a neutral topic. Outcome. You've set a firm boundary without escalating into a fight. Your partner rethinks their approach, and others notice your confidence. Social scenario. At a party, a friend mocks your new hobby, saying, "You're not actually good at this, are you?" Old you shrugs it off, feels small, and changes the subject. New you. Smile confidently and say, "I'm enjoying it, and that's what matters. What are you passionate about these days?" This redirects the focus while subtly calling out their negativity. Outcome: you deflect their jab, maintain your dignity, and make them question their behavior. Others at the party see you as unshakable. Rhetorical question: can you picture yourself handling these situations with total confidence, leaving everyone else in awe? Social proof. A 2020 study from the Journal of Social Psychology found that people who respond assertively to disrespect are rated as 50% more influential in group settings. These techniques don't just protect you, they make you a force to be reckoned with. Transition. This knowledge is powerful, but it comes with responsibility. Let's talk about how to use it wisely. You now hold a psychological edge that most people will never grasp. You understand the hidden game of power dynamics, how disrespect works, why it happens, and how to turn it to your advantage. This is dangerous knowledge in the wrong hands, which is why it's critical to use it responsibly. This isn't about becoming the manipulator or the bully. It's about protecting yourself and those you care about from those who would undermine you. It's about standing tall, commanding respect, and creating a ripple effect of confidence in your life. You're now part of the small percentage, less than 5% according to psychological surveys, who truly understand how to navigate these dynamics. Authority anchor. Historical figures like Machiavelli, Nelson Mandela, and modern leaders like Oprah Winfrey used these principles not to dominate others, but to protect their vision and uplift those around them. You're following in their footsteps, using your power for good. Rhetorical question. Will you use this knowledge to shield your dignity and inspire others, or will you let it sit unused while disrespect continues to chip away at you? Transition. Let's close this out by cementing your transformation. You're not the same person who started this video 25 minutes ago. You now see disrespect for what it is, a weak attempt to steal your power. You've got the tools to recognize it in real time, protect yourself with confidence, and flip the dynamic to make you untouchable. This isn't just a tactic, it's a new way of living. The world is full of hidden power games, but you're no longer a bystander. You are a player, and you're playing to win. In the next video, we'll dive even deeper into psychological strategies to dominate any room without saying a single word. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. Memorable quote: "The greatest revenge is to live powerfully, untouched by those who try to dim your light."